happy 2022. 2021 was a weird year, probably for all of us. I feel like, it was better than 2020, probably for most people. So hopefully we continue, this upward trend. Knock on wood. My floor is wood, so we'll just do that. But for this video, I specifically want to focus on some of the YouTubers that I got really into in 2021. In 2020, can we just discuss how annoying the years are to talk about right now? Like, holy cow, I have said the word 20 like a million times in the past 2 minutes. Anyway, in 2020, I did a video about my top 20 YouTubers of 2020. I subscribed to a lot of new people that year because, I was spending a lot more time than usual at home. And that year, it was really hard for me to narrow down to even 20 YouTubers. Like, I wanted to recommend like 30 to you guys, but I narrowed it down for, a catchy title, 20 YouTubers of 2020. 2021, I was like, should I do 20? Should I do 21? I got 17. Sorry. I just wasn't subscribing to as many new channels, and I didn't want to bloat this list with YouTubers that I don't feel passionately about. I really wanted to recommend to you guys the YouTubers that I get excited when I see them in my subscription feed. So that's what we're doing today. I'm going to tell you guys 17 really awesome YouTubers that I subscribed to in 2021. I'll tell you the same thing that I said last year, which is that this list is just going to be in order of how many subscribers they have, because if I tried to put them in order of preference or something, it would be impossible because I love all of them. So we're going to start with channels that have the fewest subscribers, and if you stick around to the end, you'll get to see some channels that I discovered this year that have subscriber counts in the millions. But without further ado, let's get started with Froggy. Froggy makes videos about gaming and media, everything from first impressions to analyses to reviews to this really awesome fan-made trailer for this Wallace and Gromit game. I have no nostalgia for anything related to Wallace and Gromit, but this trailer made the game look so good that I want to play it. He's super creative and always surprises me with the ideas he has. He's got a lot of projects coming up, including a pretty sweet video series, which you might see a familiar face in. Up next, we have Todd the Brand. His channel is mostly dedicated to music, but he also has some comedy content, and holy cow, this guy is talented. I discovered him through this video that's basically a parody of the videos where John Green goes for a hike in the woods and talks about life. And basically the plot of the parody is that he gets lost and hijinks ensue, and it's pretty hilarious. But then I found out about his music, and he posted this song called Meet the Personalities, which is such a chaotic music video, but also a super catchy song, and I loved it. But then I was watching the Jax Films Film Festival entries, and Meet the Personalities was on there. I loved this song so much that I had already watched it 3 times before I even saw the Jax Films video, and then I was like, wait. And I watched it again, and I could hear that that's a spicy meatball, and I saw, I think it's Sunday, in the background, and all the little things that he was required to include for the Jax Films Festival. I was like, oh, that was there the whole time. It was so subtle. Anyway, all this to say that this dude is super creative. His musical style kind of reminds me of They Might Be Giants mixed with Bill Wirtz. His stuff's always a little bit serious and also a little bit silly at the same time. It's a nice balance, and he deserves way more subscribers.
Things lose their context and lungs won't expand. Don't do what you love, do what you can.
Hey, I had to move because earlier I was cleaning paint off our hardwood floor in the attic, and the paint remover says all over the front of the bottle poisonous noxious fumes, don't breathe it in. And I thought the fumes had dissipated. After 20 minutes, I was like, I don't think the fumes have dissipated. I got up to come downstairs and get some water because I was like, man, why am I coughing so much? And I took 3 steps, and by the time I got to the staircase, I was noxious fumes, and ran down the stairs. I was like, I'm poisoning myself. I think problem solved, but I guess if I die, at least I'm gonna get it on camera. Okay, the last guy I have for this category technically has more than 10,000 subscribers, but I subscribed to him before he hit 10K, so it counts. John Rochford is awesome. I discovered him through Danny Ronner, who's a small sketch comedy channel. They collabed together, and even though I discovered John through a comedy channel, His stuff is more just like vlog style content. A lot of his videos that stand out to me are the Wheezy Waiter style ones where he'll meditate every day for a month or work out every single day for 100 days, that kind of thing. But he also just shows his everyday life and also ties it back to a bigger theme. He did this really cool birthday live stream where he raised like 7,000 pounds, which is a ton for a channel of his size. And he did this sweet 30-day challenge where he traveled across the UK and collabed with a different person each day while living in a camper van. Like, he's just never out of creative ideas, and I'm always excited when I see that he's posted a new video. Now we're in the category of channels with 10,000 to 100,000 subscribers. And the first channel that I have in this category is Future Proof. Future Proof is just starting out, but they give me the chance to talk about another channel that I subscribed to way before 2021, and that is Levi and Leah. They're a low-impact minimalist couple whose motto is, "You don't need to be a hero to save the planet." So obviously their content sort of centers around little changes that everyone can make to reduce your impact on the planet. Don't worry, they're definitely aware of the plethora of changes that need to happen at governmental and systemic levels, but everyone can make some changes to help the environment. Lately, the Levi and Leah channel has transitioned more towards vlog-style content, so the explainer type videos are moving on to Future Proof. Future Proof focuses more on big name brands like Patagonia, Keurig, Blundstones, and analyzes their sustainability and impact on the planet. And I just love their overall messaging. Like, they never try to make you feel guilty for buying something. They're aware of the privilege that one needs to be a minimalist, and this is my favorite part, they never say that the solution is buying something. For example, in the Blundstone video, they talk about some of the pitfalls of Blundstones, and Levi goes out and buys a newer, more sustainable pair of boots, but Leah admits that she owns Blundstones, likes them, and will probably continue to use them for as long as she can, because that's the environmentally friendly thing to do, right? Just because there's a sustainable option, it doesn't mean go out and buy it and throw away your perfectly good Blundstones. You know what I mean? And I really like the rationale that they have. You know, a lot of the times these environmentally friendly channels and blogs, a lot of the time they're sponsored by stuff and they're just trying to get you to go out and buy something that you actually don't need just because it was sustainably made. That's not always the best way to go about it. And yeah, I like that they kind of qualify everything they say with, you know, as much as we like this product and feel like they're doing things sustainably, if you have a phone that works, keep that phone. Or if you have, you know, cookware that works, use that cookware or whatever. Yeah, they're just awesome and down to earth. I really suggest checking out either of their channels. Up next, I want to talk about Howard Ho. Do you ever have a video in your recommended section that you just like keep seeing and it starts to like get on your nerves for some reason? Like every time you see it, you start to think, I bet it's not even that good of a video, like stop recommending it to me. Well, that's what happened to me with this video, but I finally watched it and it was amazing. He obviously analyzes music and musical theater sort of stuff, but his editing is next level, and the points he makes are always so well worded in a succinct way that I can only dream of achieving. And right after I watched Tick Tick Boom, he posted this video about like all the Easter eggs in Tick Tick Boom, and there was another Tick Tick Boom video, and I was like, okay, this is a sign that I have to subscribe to this guy. So his stuff is like, it's seriously like Vox, BuzzFeed level with the editing. It's so good. I don't know how he doesn't have more subscribers. If you like musical theater or musical movies, definitely check him out. Next up is Janiac Jr. Janiac does videos analyzing media, mostly nostalgic stuff like iCarly, Victorious, Total Drama Island, that sort of stuff. Specifically, I enjoy the series where he does in-depth character analyses, like he'll theorize about why Megan is so evil, or why Kat is the way Kat is, or if Sam and Freddie are actually a good couple. Really speaking to 12-year-old me with that one, Jay. His theories are well balanced and aren't too outlandish, but they're also clearly theories. Like, he goes beyond just stating facts about the characters, and he does provide his own analysis, which I appreciate. Also, the dude's theme song slaps. Like, it's so good.
There's not enough people with originality, so here I am to save the day, Janiac.
The next channel I want to talk about is Man Carrying Thing, and it's very 2021 of me to have someone on this list just because of their shorts, but Man Carrying Thing has the best shorts on YouTube. I won't be taking any questions at this time. I think I discovered him through this 15-second video that makes fun of video essays, and considering how much I actually love video essay content, I found it pretty hilarious and accurate.
Part 1. Early Cinema, 1894 to 1904.
My understanding is that he's actually a booktuber, and I mean, I love booktube, so maybe I'll get into sort of that side of his content one day, but lately it seems like he's just kind of riding the shorts train, and I'm loving it. I'd say my favorite video of his is When You Almost Forget the Alamo, because it's such a specific yet also ridiculous and funny bit. But like, definitely check him out. If you only have like 5 minutes and you want to check out someone that I recommend in this video, pick him, because his videos are so short, you can go through like 10 of them in like 2 minutes. Okay, we're in the section of YouTubers in the 100,000s. This is the biggest section. I'm not really sure why. I guess I just kind of like this size channel and the size of community. They, know that people are watching their content, so they put quite a lot of effort into it, but the community's not so big that the comment section is just like annoying or like, you should do this video next. Like the comment section are like actually people commenting on the content and engaging with each other in a healthy way. Up next is Duncan Dassner, or his real name, Duncan Cassner. Spoonerizing your name to make a YouTube handle. That's a good idea. Anyway, Duncan mostly makes videos analyzing YouTube and internet culture, kind of similar to Tiffany Ferg's videos, which makes sense because I discovered him through her. He just sort of calls out the weirdness on YouTube and how silly the drama can be, even when he makes a point that I don't necessarily agree with. He's so level-headed and good at explaining his ideas that I can always see where he's coming from. His editing is nice, he makes good arguments, and he ends every video with a nice, satisfying, funny conclusion. Next, we have Alice Capel. Alice makes videos that analyze YouTube and pop culture trends mostly through a socioeconomic lens. Her editing is a bit more straightforward, but the ideas she presents in her videos are always super well researched and flawlessly worded. I think I discovered her through her commentary on the I don't dream of labor trend that was kind of going around a few months ago, and as much as I liked those videos, her commentary on those videos stuck with me more than the videos themselves. Some other trends she's covered include self-help YouTube, hustle culture, and Squid Game. It's a really good balance of pop culture stuff supported with academic sources. Now I want to talk about Not Your Mama's History. The channel's host, Cheney McKnight, is a historian and historical reenactor who mostly focuses on the experiences of Black Americans in the 18th and 19th century. I'd say my favorite series of hers is the Day in a Life videos, where she kind of walks you through what a day would have been like for an enslaved woman's maid, or a cook, or a pepper pot woman. I didn't even know what a pepper pot woman was before I subscribed to this channel, but that's a really interesting video about what life might have been like for a free Black woman in the early 1800s. I love that her videos don't shy away from the tragedy of slavery, but also portray what life was like for free Black people, which is often overlooked when talking about that era. And she takes a look at the culture and fashion aspects with videos about hair wraps and vintage dresses. Her content's sometimes similar to like Bernadette Banner or Rachel Maxey, but you also get to learn about a historical perspective that maybe wasn't addressed in your high school history classes. Up next is Amanda Mariana. I discovered Amanda through her The Art of Being Alone video. I think I found it through Dodie, but I can't remember. She's a college student who makes videos about fashion and pop culture and how they relate to race and class. She does have more fun vloggy videos like being the main character in New York City and dressing like different college majors and arguably The Art of Being Alone, but I really stuck around for her video essay stuff. I know I sort of said this about like every video essay person that I've recommended, but her ideas are always super well worded and well researched, and she's pretty funny, and she often draws ideas from her classes, which sort of throws me back to like when I was in grad school and like everything I learned in class, I would think, oh, I could make a video out of this. She just actually does make the videos. And then my camera died. This post is a train wreck. Anyway, next we have Sarah Zed. Sarah's one of those YouTubers who has under 1 million subscribers, but her videos constantly get around 1 million views. Chances are you've seen one of her thumbnails in your recommended section, and if you haven't clicked on one before, I highly recommend. She makes, wait for it, video essays that are commentary about internet culture. Listen, I like one thing, apparently. But the thing that kind of makes Sarah stand out to me is that her videos are more focused on like fandom culture specifically. Weird Ships, DashCon, this absolutely bonkers video about the author of My Immortal. She's got it all. I'd say her videos are more opinion-based than research-based comparatively, but she does a really good job of trying to understand other perspectives, giving them the benefit of the doubt, and explaining why her own ideas differ. Her videos are quite long, but by the time I reach the end of them, I'm always like, whoa, that was an hour? Because they're like so entertaining. Up next, we have Rainbow Plant Life, and is that the most hippie vegan YouTube channel name that you've ever heard? Yes, but stay with me. Nisha posts relatively accessible vegan recipes, many of which are, kind of your typical Western flavor palette, but she's also Indian American, so a lot of her videos showcase flavors that aren't normally presented in the stereotypical bland vegan diet, even though there are actually a lot of vegan Indian foods, but Western veganism just ignores that anyway. I really want to try her recipes for dal, bolognese, and shepherd's pie. And to be honest, I haven't actually tried any of her recipes yet, but I have used several of her tips. She does some of those videos that are like, 10 tips to improve your cooking, and those have been really helpful for me. Now I understand the importance of like a high quality tomato paste and aquafaba and citrus zest. So even though I haven't tried out one of her specific recipes yet, her tips have definitely helped me improve my cooking. Also, any video that involves her parents makes me so happy. They're super sweet, but will also like roast any food that they don't like in the most passive-aggressive way.
Brownie number 1.
Not pleasant.
And the last channel I have in this category is Cinema Therapy. Cinema Therapy is made up of 2 friends, a licensed therapist and a professional filmmaker, and they, look at film through the lens of therapy and mental health. I mean, it's right there in the name of their channel. So for example, they talk about Mother Gothel's gaslighting in Tangled, abandonment issues in Frozen, PTSD in the Hunger Games, and that sort of stuff. And I guess on the surface, this might seem like trivializing serious issues, but it's an actual therapist, so he's definitely not just doing some, oh, this is such a wacky theory, Katniss has PTSD, isn't that crazy? It's not just like for shock value. They actually use like DSM criteria, they use personal examples, they apply things to real life, so it doesn't feel so much like they're using a stigmatized mental disorder to get someone to click their video. It's more like they're using the film to help people understand these stigmatized things. It's really cool stuff. I learn new things about mental health, and I always end up wanting to rewatch a bunch of movies. And now we are in the section of YouTubers with 1 million subscribers. I only have 3 in this section, so I guess I wasn't particularly drawn to bigger YouTube channels this year, but those that I did discover, I really, really liked. First, we have Nick Robinson. Oh man, where to begin with Nick Robinson? I guess if I had to lump all his stuff into one category, I'd say documentary-style videos about video games and meme culture. Like, I think I discovered him through this video about the lost McDonald's DS game, but it also might have been the one where he tries to track down the voice actor who did the "Ready, Go" in Super Monkey Ball. But like also he tracked down the physical building of this like stupid Microsoft Bimbos meme, and he interviews the president of Domino's who did these Chinese domino ads. Like, his stuff is kind of all over the place. But it's always so high quality. The way he uses music and editing has like literally given me chills over a McDonald's DS game. Like, that shouldn't happen, but that's how good his editing is. And I don't feel like I stressed this enough. Like, he doesn't just talk about these topics. He has flown to Japan like 1 billion times to like go more in depth and do actual like in-person research on some of the topics that he's really passionate about. Like, it is not just armchair stuff. He goes the extra mile and almost always like talks to someone who's involved in whatever project he's talking about. Like, it's so extra. I don't know, maybe that's the best way to describe it, just extra. So I guess if you like unnecessarily in-depth documentary-style content about super niche stuff, check him out. Up next is Charles Cornell. Charles is a jazz musician who does a lot of stuff based on that idea. His most popular videos are ones where he adds music to memes, or like there's one where he adds an actual accompaniment to that video of celebrities butchering Imagine way back when COVID was kicking off.
Imagine all the people living for today.
but my favorite videos of his are his jazz musician reacts sort of videos. I think I discovered him through his analysis of Mr. Rogers' music, of all things, but when I saw him analyze one of Bill Wirt's songs, that's when I knew I had to subscribe. He's also reacted to the music from Cowboy Bebop, Animal Crossing, Star Wars, and a bunch of pop artists. And he doesn't just react to it, he also analyzes it and talks about what he would do instead from a jazz standpoint. He even has this keyboard in front of him, and sometimes he'll just like improvise something that he would do instead, but like somehow he does it without being like cocky about it. Like it's not annoying to watch. He's really, really talented, pretty funny, and yeah, I love his stuff. And the person with the most subscribers that I enjoyed in 2021 is Alvin Zhou, or Zhao. It looks like there's a lot of possible ways to pronounce that last name, and I couldn't find a video of him saying it, so please correct me if you know how to say his last name. If you watch the Babish Culinary Universe videos, you've probably seen Alvin's torso before. He first appeared in what I assume was an April Fool's bit, but now he's regularly on the channel with his Anime with Alvin segment. This made me want to check out his actual stuff, and oh my gosh, guys, his content is the most chill, satisfying, unnecessarily complex cooking videos you will ever see. He does things like 100-hour fudgy brownies or 72-hour beef Wellington. And like, I mean, the title, the thumbnail, like, how can you resist? It's so enticing. But the videos themselves, they always have super chill music, beautiful shots, no talking, just captions at the bottom of the screen, and the whole 100-hour concept really adds to the slow, relaxed feel of the video. His stuff is honestly like a breath of fresh air. His stuff is honestly like a breath of fresh air on a site that's so filled with flashy, fast-paced stuff, even though I clearly love that stuff too. Okay, and that's the last channel that I have to talk about today. 2021 was a good year for me, I guess, in terms of discovering new YouTubers that I like. I mean, I guess 2021 in general was not a good year for YouTube, like algorithmically. Like it wasn't a good year for like Susan Wojcicki, you know? So maybe that's why I didn't discover like so many new people, or maybe I just, you know, knew how to deal with a pandemic better than just sitting at home and watching YouTube all day. I don't know. But you know, it's like quality over quantity. I feel like I really, really enjoyed the content that I consumed in 2021. Honestly, my 2020 video of the YouTubers that I liked did not get very many views, but like, I don't care, because I think this is something that pretty much anyone who posts on YouTube can stand to do a little bit more. I mean, the only other, I've seen Tiffany Ferg does small channel shout out sometimes, and I feel like Dodie Clark once or twice has recommended some YouTube channels, but I'm like, this site sometimes feels like people get in their own little bubbles and just kind of focus on like, you know, the viewers. It almost feels like people think that viewers' time is limited, and like I don't want people to watch other people's channels. I just want you to watch me. And I don't like that. I firmly disagree with that. I like to take this time to sit down and talk about the stuff that I like, and I wish that more people would do that on this site, you know? Build each other up. So let me know who are some of the channels that you really enjoyed in 2021, or just in general. Yeah, in 2020 I was like, don't actually tell me because I don't need to subscribe to more people. But this year I'm fine. I'm subscribed to a normal amount of channels now, I think. So, you know, recommend people to me. I don't care. You know, especially like small creators who, you know, maybe the algorithm isn't favoring them so much right now. Give them a shout out in the comments. You know, we'll check them out, give them some love. Maybe I'll even give them a shout out in my 2022 video. Who knows? But I'm gonna keep doing this. I don't care if it gets views or not, because I want people to build each other up on this site, because there are so many awesome creators. Anyway, I have been rambling for too long, so I'm gonna let you guys go. So if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I put videos out every other Friday about music, media, linguistics, and whatever else is on my mind that week. Thanks so much for watching. See ya.